Welcome back to episode 7 of the Road to Glory Haas series. And in this episode we have Canada. Now last time in Baku we scored a very surprise podium after not stopping a second time for the Inters. It was a pretty crazy race, but on to Canada we go, straight into qualifying. Now for the record, I don't enjoy this track as much as I did on F1 2020. I feel like I have so much more understeer on all cars compared to last year, and it's probably because of the lack of downforce. But some of the corners that I dislike are like the one coming up after the tunnel here, where I can't nail it consistently. The hairpin here is usually also one where I tend to go wide on the exit because of understeer. And the chicane at the end of this this main straight here is pretty much a coin flip every time. You will either send it and not invalidate, or you take it carefully and you lose time. So it's on a fine edge between safety and speed. But we end Q1 there, and we have actually gone ahead into Q2 in 10th place, so we found a bit of pace ahead of cars that we usually can fight with, the Alpines, the Aston Martins and the AlphaTauri of Tsunoda. Gasly has been a bit of a problem, but all 5 cars eliminated are usually ones that we beat anyways. So we have made, and the team has made, some progress, especially in qualifying. Now we go into Q2, and as you can see we have Inters conditions, and I've already begun this lap and I'm nearing the end of it, and I'm not a big fan of the rain, especially on a track that I'm not comfortable with it, as you can see. Now normally that should be an invalidation, I am running strict corner cutting, but since I lifted so much, the game lets that pass. We go P8, which turns into P15, and now the rain has gone away and it's time for softs. We immediately get the time back, and we are the first car on track who has fitted the softs. I think Alonso has done a run himself, but I was faster than him. Purple into sector 1, we have already made up 3 seconds. We take that corner nicely on the edge, get the power down here. I'm gonna struggle a bit in this corner, as you can see, going wide, but lifted a lot there, so it does not get invalid or invalidated. Brake at the 80 meter point, try to turn the car in, and as you can see, understeer kicks in, or maybe I took the corner badly, either way. DRS open, heading towards the final corner. 8 seconds up. Very careful. I lose a lot of time there. That's probably like 6/10 in that corner alone. We go fastest lap briefly.
That's the fastest lap so far. Well done.
Everyone has fitted the mediums, as you could see there, but everyone is gonna go way faster on the soft tires. And I think at the end I had a 1 minute 12, which was not nearly good enough. And yeah, we are eliminated in Q2. P15 is our starting position.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Verstappen, Lando Norris, and Gasly Tsunoda, Ricciardo, they've taken a grid penalty. Vettel and Charles Leclerc. Sainz, Stroll, Ellis and Fernando Alonso. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Russell, Latifi, Esteban Ocon, they've taken a grid penalty. And Antonio Giovinazzi, Raikkonen and Mick Schumacher. And now it's time to head down to the track.
So in the end we start P13 here, and we have an Aston Martin right next to us. 5 lights have gone and away we go. Decent start, but we are gonna have to be careful with Russell on the outside here. Try not to make any contact and damage our front wing. Very careful here. Alonso to the right. We are gonna give him, or try to give him, the space, which makes us lose a bit of time. A cheeky little dive bomb here on Stroll. Still on our outside, but we pull the overtake off. He is gonna come back though, but we are gonna outbrake him. We don't make the corner, and we go into the runoff area while lifted, so...
Yellow flag.
Now here Leclerc has an issue, and Latifi overtakes me under yellow flag. Technically that should be a penalty for him.
Has been deployed. Slow down and maintain a positive delta. There's been an incident resulting in a high level of debris on the track.
Leclerc is out of the race, and we are on the VSC. Decent first lap up until the chicane after the tunnel. We're back into P15 now, and I think the VSC is gonna go away anytime soon now. Trying to get the maximum out of the delta and be ready for when
VSC
we go green.
We're going green. Maintain positive delta until the green flags.
So we lose a second there under VSC. Not ideal.
No need to worry about tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
Raikkonen overtakes us, we overtake Raikkonen. This time we make the corner on the inside, but we have to squeeze Raikkonen there a bit. So far, clean. Lap 4 now. We are chasing after Ocon, and we have Alonso on our tail. So really, like, squeeze between two Alpines. We get our first warning for track limits on the chicane, and Alonso is looking to do a little dive bomb here on the inside, and he manages to overtake us. He has been faster than us so far in this race, and already I can sort of feel that we are struggling on pace. We can catch up in the middle sector because we are running high downforce, but on the straights they pull ahead of us by the same or more margin than we gain on them in sector 2.
Strategy is available on the MFD.
Raikkonen is looking here for an overtake, but we are gonna let go of the brakes a bit and repass him on the inside. Chasing down Alonso with the DRS. Jeff wants me to pit for mediums, and we manage an overtake in the chicane, forcing Alonso to go wide, but we did that very cleanly. So here we go then, lap 7. Raikkonen is very close to us, but we are heading into the pits, and we try to cost him some time so that we can make it up on our outlap. The softs were around 20%, but I already felt that I was losing enough time as it was,
out.
So I decided to pit.
Okay, race, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
Now comes the part of the race where I don't enjoy myself so much. I'm in P19, I'm dead last, I have 14.8 seconds to the first car, and I lose a lot of time on the outlap because the grip is not there on the mediums the same way it was on the softs. Raikkonen has pitted the lap after me, and he is on my ass immediately from, well, his outlap. This is Raikkonen's outlap, as I had a little moment there.
We could still regain the position.
Dive bomb again on the inside. Managed to re-overtake him, and he is gonna get DRS here. And blast past us. And already I can start to feel the same thing as I felt in Spain.
Mind that front wing. It'll need replacing if it takes too much damage. No issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
We go wide in the chicane and we hit the front wing. And really from here on out, the race is pretty much over.
Okay, you're within 1 second of the car ahead. Get ready to use DRS to overtake.
I can catch Raikkonen a bit still, but it's so hard to overtake him. He's so much faster on the straights. And now Ocon has come to play. He pushes me wide with his presence. If I had turned in earlier, we would have crashed. He goes a bit slow in that corner, which forces us to hard stomp on the brakes. Which is pretty weird considering he has fresher tires than me. But overall I'm just losing too much time in every corner with this wing, and at the time I couldn't even see a difference on the HUD. The front wing is still green, so I felt like something was wrong, but I did not know what, and I'm just bleeding time everywhere. Now with DRS I was able to get up to like 317 kph, but without it I am just way too slow.
The gap to the car ahead is 0.8 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 2 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1 minute 15.1. Gap to teammate behind is 2.4 seconds.
So yeah, Ocon is pulling away, and now he is 4 seconds off 2 laps later. And Schumacher has caught up to us. We take the chicane very safely, but he is gonna get DRS here, and you are gonna see him try the overtake here. And we go a bit wide, trying to give him the space. We don't want to DNF our teammate again. Very safe here on this corner. And because of my line that I took there, he had to back off a bit.
The car in front is 5.0 seconds.
But this fighting and overtaking here is not exactly helping us. We're just bleeding even more time to the car ahead. With a damaged wing, I can make the corners, but at the cost of speed. And in hindsight here, if I wanted to keep track position, I would let him be ahead there. But I didn't, and now he is gonna get DRS. And it's not even gonna be a defense, because it makes no sense. Lap 23, Schumacher is still within our sights, but Russell and Alonso have pitted for their second stop, and they are behind us. Now I thought, since I am in P14, maybe I can stick it out, see what happens. Maybe some cars DNF, some cars fight, and I managed to snag a point. But the pace difference was too severe. So now we are gonna be P13
Nick
and
is coming in for his stop.
P11, I think, after all the stops. P12. Russell overtakes us into turn 1. His grip is insane as he has fresh tires. But we are
Be aware we
generally
expect the grip
faster
levels to
than a
start
Williams.
falling away soon.
But yeah, with the damage and the tires being in this state, it's not that fun to drive. And also the setup being way too heavy on downforce. As you can see, I have my ERS activated and I am in the slipstream. And still, I don't get any time on them. They compromise my exit a bit, and we lose even more time.
Nick behind. The gap behind us is 1.7 seconds. Their tyres are 4 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 13.7.
Now, just a couple of laps later, my pace has dropped off even more, and he has managed to make up an entire pit stop in a few laps, because I'm bleeding
Nick is
way too
behind
much
you.
time.
They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 4 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:13.7. Right, come in at the end of this lap.
And I thought to myself, there's no point, I'm not even with them. I might as well just pit and see what my pace would have been like if I could make the soft tires work a bit better in the beginning. 47% on the mediums, that stint. And I am gonna change my wing here.
Go now.
And now in hindsight I know what happened, but driving this I had no clue why I was so slow.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
So we come out P17. Ocon is 8.5 ahead, and we have already been lapped here. Lewis Hamilton wins the race, and we couldn't close the gap on Ocon. So this was just a disaster race for us. Ended the last out of the last, and we need to work on our pace a bit, especially on these tracks.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
That's it for another Grand Prix and a fantastic win for Mercedes. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to
So
see them
far
up
this
on that
season
podium
we
once
have
again.
had I think an equal or slight advantage to Mercedes. They have a decent fight with Red Bull, and Perez is looking strong in these races.
It's a great result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. So let's review the updated driver standings. Some amazing talent out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
It's got to be Lewis Hamilton. I mean, he pulled off some impressive feats out on the track today, even by his standards.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store
Now
for us
I
next time?
was slower
Be
than
sure to join
Alonso,
us again
but
as we
faster than
continue to
Russell,
bring you the latest
and
excitement
in theory
in
I should
Formula
have
One.
probably finished P11 if I could hook laps together, but this episode we have, I guess, our feet has been brought down to earth again after the podium last race.
I know we were expecting some new
And it's
developments,
already not looking good
but some of them have
into
failed quality
France.
control.
a power circuit. We are ahead of Williams right now, and we, for a brief moment this season, were ahead of Alfa Romeo as well. But we will see what happens in the next episode. This is gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.